All right, gonna go over these that I did in the Glenfield Model A308 today, and then compare them to a few others that I've done recently. So the 165 btsp interlock from Hornady. This is in a 20-inch barrel. Had muzzle velocities of that. The average was 2578. The group was a 1 3/8 inch. Again, I'm shooting from a bipod, not a rest, so there's room for movement and stuff like that. Although I'm a pretty good shot, you know, I'll still take that for sure. I mean, that's not bad at all. And so yeah, I think that did pretty good. But here's the overall numbers for that. When you take the muzzle velocity and the G1BC of that, which is pretty big, it's got a 0.435 G1BC at 200 yards, and this setup on the Glenfield Model A 20-inch barrel, you got a 4.7-inch drop at 200, 16.4-inch drop at 300, 67-inch drop at 500, and you're still producing 1,068 foot-pounds of energy at 500 yards. At 300 yards, 1,500. At 200 yards, 1,781. So a lot of energy for a pretty good round. Pretty good accuracy. Pretty good, velocities. Now we'll look at the next one I did today. That's the 165 Game King, and this is the hollow point boat tail, hpbt. This is has a G1BC of 0.363, had an average 3-shot muzzle velocity of 2578, which is exactly what this one got. And they're both 165, so that makes sense, but they got there different ways. This one started hot and then cooled down. This one's kind of just went steady, but they both ended up at 2578 average. This one's got a lower BC. This one only has a 0.363. That one has a 0.435. But this one had a 7/8 inch group. That one had a inch and 3/8. This one had a 7/8 inch group. So turned out to be a little bit more accurate. But there's the numbers. You're gonna lose a lot of energy, at like 500 yards. This one has 1,068. And that all stems from isn't this is why the G1BC is important, because this one has a 4.35. I think that comes down to shape is how they measure that, but it's 435 compared to a 363 G1BC. So even though it's the same exact velocities and same exact weight of projectile, 165 grain, this one at 500 yards is doing 1,068 foot-pounds and only dropping 67 inches. This one at 500 yards is only doing 895, which is, almost 200 foot-pounds less energy at 500 yards. At 300, you're still pretty high up there. Definitely elk territory, I'm sure. Absolutely deer. Um, Dropping almost 5 inches at 200, 17 inches at 300, and 70, about 3 inches at 500 yards. So there's those. Now we'll go to the ones we did recently and just compare those all together. That was the Nosler. I ended up getting an inch and an eighth group with those. Inch and 7/8 with the 165 SST Hornadies. So that was that inch and 7/8 with the with the SST. Yeah, and so that the Nosler did an inch and 8. So overall, the best group goes to the 165 Game King, but the best overall numbers distance wise. Let's see. The Nosler's doing 1350 at 500 yards. The Nosler's got the best numbers for sure. Best accuracy goes to the Sierra 165 Game King hollow point. Um, but it's not going to be producing nearly the energy that the Nosler did. And the SST has got a little bit better numbers than the interlock at distance, but they're pretty close to the same. There's the SST. There's the BTSP interlock. So interesting numbers, but thanks for watching.